Man, if I knew this goal-killing mistake from day one, my world would be completely different. After experiencing some pretty out there achievements, I've learned what sounds good in theory, but doesn't work. And I've watched my most successful friends and I chase down goals that are unachievable for most people, like blasting out of $250,000 in the red in just 9 months, traveling the world full-time in a way that supports my business, and growing into the kind of person that I really want to be. But until you learn what the top 1% do differently, you'll be stuck making goals with the best intentions, but seeing no change year in, year out. Oh, and everything I'm going to share with you is backed by science. So in this video, I'm going to reveal the lie that makes reaching your goals near impossible. I'm going to give you my goal simplifying pyramid, as well as dissolving a few myths along the way. But first, we need to get rid of the elephant that's in the room. And that is, for once and for all, to address the lie that makes reaching your goals near impossible. Many of the best stuff that happens to us in life happens because we thought of it first. The car that you wanted to get, the place you wanted to live, our business goals, our level of income, these are all goals that we set. But if your experience was similar to mine, this process is kind of hit and miss. Sometimes you hit your goals, sometimes you miss by a long shot. But why? Well, what if there's a logical explanation? What if it's self-sabotage? Maybe we've got some bad advice? I'm sure you've been here. You've been fully behind a goal that you've set for yourself. You've made this goal, you're excited, you're fired up. But then as the days and the weeks slowly flick on by, the reality of that goal coming to life feels like it's getting further and further away. And often it's because of this one big mistake that everyone seems to make. And this isn't some opinion piece. Now, this is science-backed, and you'll hear this spoken about anecdotally if you listen to the stories of people who have achieved some really crazy things in life. So maybe you're thinking, how is this possible? Well, it's because of how goals work. See, when your goal is big and audacious, then you quite literally will have to adjust and change parts of who you are to achieve them. And when things so closely tied to your identity are being scrutinized and tested, you need every possible support you can to have a chance of making this happen. And what's the number one thing that sabotages that support? It's telling people your goals. We've all seen the size of an Olympic swimming pool, right? Imagine that the water in the pool is your potential to reach your goals. It's made up of energy, of determination, of grit, of things you need to learn, challenges you need to overcome. It's all the good stuff on the path to reaching your goals. Well, when you share your goals with people, the act of sharing is like you pulling the plug on that swimming pool, draining the potential for your goals to come to life. And there are two reasons why. One is negative and one is positive. But don't be misled. Both will absolutely sabotage you. Now, the negative one is easy to understand, and we've all experienced it. It's when the well-meaning people in our lives shut us down, inadvertently dismissing our dreams and ambitions. That negative response is predictable. It drains our motivation, resulting in halting progress towards our goals. That makes sense. We've all experienced that. But the positive one is even more insidious. This is when you tell people about your goals, and those people who agree with you, they think it's a worthy goal, and they even offer to support you. Now, you might be thinking, how? Support is meant to be good, right? Well, this is where the science behind this tells us no. This can be, and often is, a death blow to people reaching their goals. Social recognition of your goal before you've even achieved it usually makes you less likely to do the work. Curtis Pikes talks about this in his piece, The Positive Fantasy Trap, saying, telling people your goals unintentionally deters you from achieving them. That's pretty interesting stuff, right? So logically, this don't tell people your goals begs the question, okay, so what do we do instead? Now's the fun part. I'm going to give you my goal simplifying pyramid. It served me well over the years, and I know it's going to serve you well too. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you each step, and then I'm going to give you an example so you can connect it to reality. And that first step, the base of our pyramid, is to internalize. What this means in practical terms is to share it with yourself. This is something incredibly special. You share your goal with the most important relationship that you have on this planet, and that's the one you have with yourself. So we simply describe the goal, use paper, words, diagrams, whatever you want. And here's where we come to grips with what it really means to achieve it. Like, how would it change your world? Like, how would your options be different? How would it change your experience day to day? Or how would it change how you think and feel about yourself? And I don't want you to think about this as intangible. This is exactly how good marketing affects other people. So why not use the same principles and apply it to yourself about something that you know you actually really want? So this is where you purposely future pace your emotions to get a taste of what it's going to feel like when you have that reality. And the point of doing this is to sample it to see if it's worth pursuing. You don't want to linger there too long. That could make you feel like you've already achieved it, and that will demotivate you. You just have to get a taste of it and see, yeah, if I achieve that goal, I'm going to feel this way and I'm going to think these things and have these opportunities and these options in my life. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty nice. And here's your example. Let's say you're a business owner. You've got a goal of hitting 50K per month. This will mean you've got your expenses covered and your emergencies covered. You'll also be able to use the profit to reinvest in your business, and you'll be able to pay yourself properly, giving you future options to start getting a team together to alleviate more of your time so you can spend more time doing other things you love. It'll also change how you think of yourself because you'll have a genuine profit-generating business, a goal you've had for some time. Now, what does this feel like? Well, it makes you feel strong, makes you feel confident. It gives you a sense of freedom you haven't felt in a long time. You also realize it makes you feel excited about what else can be achieved now that you're at this level. Cool. Pyramid level 1, done. Second step of the pyramid, externalize. And here's where we can get practical. A part of you will already have at least a slight idea of how you're going to go about doing this. What's the method? What's required? Just write it down or mind map it or whatever works for you, but get super clear on what it's going to take for you to make this a reality. And here's the bit no one really wants to do at this stage. In step 1, see, the point was to leave you feeling incredible, that's a taste of what it's going to feel like. Awesome. This step 2, at this point, you should be feeling slightly terrified. And that's a good thing because it means your goal is worth the hassle of getting through it because it's going to require actual change. Now back to our example of the business owner who wants to hit 50K per month. Now we're going to do a bit of math because this is kind of what you need to do. If you've got a goal, you're going to have to figure it out and reverse engineer how you're going to achieve this. So this guy or girl wants to hit 50K per month. His existing clients already bring in $14,000 per month total. And his new clients pay about $7,000 each. And some of them usually want to keep working with him for at least a year. So he calculates he only needs about 3 new clients a month. And after about 4 months of that, he'll be hitting his target of 50K per month. He takes a look at his schedule and goes, yeah, I can handle 3 new clients a month. But then realizes that in order to get those 3 new clients, he's going to need to bring in about 15 leads every month. But currently, even though he's working as hard as he can, he's getting about 2 good leads a month. I mean, something fundamentally has to change. He's like 13 leads shy. And this moment, I think, is success because it's slightly terrifying. That's what you should be feeling. How are you going to change what you're doing and how you're operating to get to that next level? So now we're ready for the final step of the pyramid, and that is action. The peak of the pyramid is taking action. It's the most important thing. Action is the most powerful mover of change. Someone who takes action consistently will outperform those who are more gifted, those who are more talented, intelligent. It'll outperform everybody. Action is the ace card. Action beats everything. Now I use a simple method called minimums, and I'm going to give you that at the end of this video. All right, let's wrap this example up. So our business owner who wants to hit 50K months. Well, so far he's been able to figure this out for himself. But now that he realizes he needs 15 new leads per month, he's stumped. But is he really? See, this process has actually revealed the path forward. He can see that he needs a fundamental change in strategy as what he's been doing isn't cutting it anymore. So now that he can see clearly what's preventing him from progressing, he has this first action step, and that is to go shopping, to find a solution. See, lots of business owners screw it all up at this point because they don't actually know what they want. So they don't know what action to take. So they just do what everyone else is doing. And this is precisely why they stay stuck. Or worse, they end up blowing their money on the wrong solution. Ads could be the right solution, or they could be a terrible waste of money. A new website or content or funnel or a webinar could be the perfect solution, or it could be a terrible waste of money. And if you start going shopping with marketing people whose job it is to convince you to buy stuff, if you start engaging those kinds of people before you know what it is that you want, well, you're probably going to buy a money pit. So if you know what your next steps are, then you take action. But if you don't know what your next steps are, then your precise next action is to shop around and find yourself a solution. So the top of the goal simplifying pyramid, taking action. I call these daily actions minimums, and it's for people who have big goals and they want to achieve it as fast as possible. If that's you, you're going to love this next video. I essentially give you my superior method for goal setting, and it's exactly what I do to achieve difficult things. I'll see you in the next video.